Some places just feel wrong. Not overtly threatening, but saturated with a quiet malevolence. Black Creek Pond was one such place. Locals spoke of it in hushed tones, not of monsters, but of stillness. An unnatural calm that settled over the water, mirroring the sky with eerie perfection, even on windy days. They spoke of disappearances too. Hikers veering off marked trails, campers vanishing from locked tents, their last known locations somewhere near the pond's edge. Mark, new to the area and dismissive of local superstition, found himself drawn towards it during a long hike. The air grew heavy, the sounds of the forest muted, replaced by a low, almost subaudible hum. He pushed through the final line of trees and stopped. The pond lay before him, a perfect obsidian mirror under the late afternoon sun. No ripples, no insects skimming the surface, just silence, and that unnerving stillness. He felt a peculiar lethargy creep over him, a desire to simply sit by the water's edge, rest a while. The woods behind him felt distant, unreal. Only the pond seemed solid, inviting. He noticed odd shapes beneath the surface, not fish, not weeds, but darker patches that seemed to subtly shift. Probably just shadows, he thought, though the thought lacked conviction. Then came the whisper. So faint, it could have been the wind, but there was no wind. It sounded like his name. Mark. He shook his head, trying to clear it. Fatigue, dehydration maybe. He took a step back from the bank, the mud sucking slightly at his boots. The pull intensified, not physical, but a deep, resonant urge in his chest. Come closer. Rest. He looked down at the water again. The dark shapes seemed clearer now. Not shadows, faces. Pale, indistinct, looking up from the depths with empty eyes. He saw a flash of color, the red of a familiar hiking jacket worn by a woman reported missing weeks ago. He stumbled back, breath catching in his throat, the illusion shattering, replaced by raw panic. He turned to flee, back towards the path, towards the world that wasn't silent and still. But as his foot caught on a root, sending him sprawling, the last thing he heard wasn't from the pond ahead, but from the dense woods directly behind him. A chorus of cold, wet whispers echoing his name. The stillness wasn't just in the water, it had seeped into the land itself. We trust our reflections. They are our duplicates, our confirmations of self. But what happens when that trust is broken? Maya first noticed it after a particularly stressful week. Standing bleary-eyed before her bathroom mirror, she reached up to rub her temples. Her reflection paused. Just for a fraction of a second, its hand lagged behind hers before mimicking the motion. She blinked, splashed water on her face. Must be tired, seeing things, but it happened again the next night. A yawn that started in the reflection before she felt it herself. A blink that didn't quite sink. Tiny, almost imperceptible fissures in reality. She started avoiding the bathroom mirror, opting for the large one in the hallway. For a few days, things seemed normal. The relief was immense. Perhaps it was just stress. Then, walking past the hallway mirror, she glanced sideways. She stopped. Her reflection stopped too, but its eyes, they didn't follow hers. They stayed fixed, looking straight ahead, down the empty hallway, as if watching something she couldn't see. A cold dread washed over her. She waved her hand. The reflection matched perfectly. She forced a smile. It smiled back instantly, yet the feeling lingered, the feeling of being observed by her own image. She tried to rationalize. Tricks of light, peripheral vision playing games. But the incidents grew bolder. One evening, she turned away from the mirror quickly, but caught a final glimpse. Her reflection hadn't turned. It remained facing the room, its expression flat, empty. She spun back around. It was normal again, staring back with her own wide, frightened eyes. Fear became a constant companion. She covered the hallway mirror with a sheet, avoided reflective surfaces. used only her compact mirror for makeup, quick, furtive glances, but the phenomenon wasn't tied to one mirror. Walking past her dark living room window one night, she saw it looking back, her own face pressed close to the glass from the inside, its eyes wide, mouth open in a silent scream that wasn't hers. She recoiled, heart hammering. The final break happened later that week. Exhausted, she collapsed onto her bed facing the wall. The screen of her phone lay dark on the nightstand beside her. In the black, polished surface she saw it, her reflection lying on the bed just as she was, except it slowly began to sit up. Its movements were smooth, deliberate. It turned its head, still reflected in the tiny screen, and looked directly at her. And then, faintly, Maya heard it. A sound that seemed to come from the phone itself. A light, rhythmic tapping, like fingernails on glass from the other side. Curiosity can uncover wonders, but sometimes it unearths things best left buried. Alex loved exploring abandoned places, documenting forgotten histories. It was in the flooded basement of a derelict textile mill, sifting through rusted machinery and debris, that his hand brushed against something small and cool lodged in the silt. He pulled it out, a strange, asymmetrical piece of metal, no bigger than his thumb, covered in intricate, non-repeating patterns. It felt oddly heavy, almost warm. Fascinated, he pocketed it. That night he felt it, a faint vibration deep under the skin of his left forearm. He thought it was a muscle twitch, or maybe he'd slept on it wrong. But the sensation persisted, intermittent, like a distant engine running. A low, resonant hum felt more than heard. He examined his arm. Nothing. No mark. No rash. Over the next few days, the humming grew slightly stronger, more constant. He started to feel it even when distracted, a persistent internal thrumming. He showed his arm to a doctor who found nothing wrong. Probably just a nerve issue. Stress-related was the diagnosis. But Alex knew it wasn't nerves. It felt localized. Purposeful. He took the strange metal object from his desk drawer. Holding it seemed to intensify the hum in his arm. The patterns on its surface seemed to pulse faintly in his perception. He put it away, disturbed. Could it be related? An allergic reaction? Some kind of weird radiation? The skin on his forearm began to change. A slight discoloration appeared, a faint, bruise-like mottling just beneath the surface where the humming was strongest. It didn't hurt, but it itched sometimes. A deep, internal itch he couldn't scratch. The humming now seemed to have a rhythm, a complex pattern that felt almost intelligent. He imagined he could almost hear it if he pressed his ear close to his skin. One night, unable to sleep, the vibration stronger than ever, Alex sat under a bright lamp, staring at his arm. The mottled pattern looked clearer now, intricate, almost like circuits or veins weaving just below the epidermis. In the moment of combined fear and morbid curiosity, he pressed down hard with his thumb on the epicenter of the hum. He felt something shift. Something small, hard, and distinctly unnatural moved beneath his skin, responding to the pressure before settling back into place. The humming intensified briefly, a low, mechanical whine, then resumed its steady rhythm. It wasn't an infection, it wasn't a nerve, it was something else, something alien, embedded, and perhaps waking up.